Good evening. I am Jijin Wong. This is my 7 days of the campaigning for Hong Kong North. Today is to share my manifesto for Hong Kong North, which I have yet to review. This is because I have been walking the ground with my volunteers to understand the existing measure already in place and the issue that remain unsolved. Hong Kong North is actually very unique because around 45% of the town is actually filled with new residents with young families, and 55% are mainly residents who have settled there more than 30 years. During that period, most of the children of this group of the residents have grown up and moved out, leaving behind elderly inside this district. I would say that half of the town is actually new, with young family moving in, and also the other half is pretty young and also with new commercial developments like liquids. A new hawker center is coming in. Of course, the Singapore first block of public housing assisted live flats. It is unique in itself, as I do not think that other SMC actually have two equally contrasting demographic, which one part is filled with old estate, while the other part is a brand new estate, separated by a little hill. Hong Kong North has always been the blue-eye town of PAP over the last four elections, and any new politician will not choose this unless they are very sure that what they are doing. For me, before I begin to share about my manifesto, I would like to first apologize to everyone for my inability to meet up with every one of you, or if you have seen me in the lack of the media sophistication, which you might have compared me with other candidate Facebook. Please forgive me. During the last 6 days on the ground, I try not to touch too much on the volunteers to help me on the technical issue of Facebook, because I don't want to risk them to lose their job, as job is very important for them. That's why I have been trying to struggle very, very hard myself on the Facebook or on the live, because I myself, I'm not good at it. Likewise, despite the HQ party also offering me a PR advisor to help out me. However, I think I want them to give the resources to the GRC, as I prefer to walk the ground myself and listen to what the residents really want. Some of you whom I have met during the walkabout have confirmed what I feel. Beyond the nice infrastructure and the nice kampong cafe, there are still many areas that can be better. While I first heard about Hong Kong North, I need to Google to know exactly where it is. This is the same to most of the people I have asked, especially the one living outside Hong Kong North. Before 2011, part of Hong Kong North is either Bukit Batok or Bukit Gombak SMC, and it is again carved out to form Hong Kong North, making it more like an adopted town with no clear identity. Please pardon me for my directness, and I feel that this should be stopped immediately. Together, we must work together to make Hong Kong North the most desirable home in Singapore. How are we going to put Hong Kong North on the lip of every Singaporean? Other than the constant Home Improvement Program, HIP, which still left about 21 blocks to complete for the old estate, which is not free anyway. The building of family, health hub, garden, to me is just another category of assets enforcement approach. Does this sound like an attractive feature which cannot be found in other parts of Singapore? The answer is no. This is a plan delivered by Ministry of National Development, which work with the respective town council to provide feedback. So for those that have clapped hand and say wonderful development that is coming, please pause and think again. Will this stop even if another political party come in? The answer is no. Does this make you able to tell your family and your friend that Hong Kong North is very unique? The answer is no. Do you think the value of HDB will grow even with the Home Improvement Program or the MRP program? The answer is also no. However, due credit must be given to Dr. Amy Koh and her team for her hard work, their hard work for the 18 years, where Hong Kong North have been constantly divided and recategorized again. With more than 18 years doing this, she shall be definitely better than me in development more than myself, which I know myself, I can't. Indeed, I focus on the walkabout, to listen the voice on the ground, because I want to know how to help them. Many times I have asked about my plan, and in order for me not to impose on you, I keep silent. I am a firm believer on the ground, a firm believer of going to do everything personally by myself. I am old pattern, but I learn to listen what you want by my heart, the old way of doing it. So the question tonight is about my 5 years plan in Hong Kong North. Is turning the town into HOMES. Turning the town into home. So what is HOMES? My mission is to take Hong Kong North and make it into a place where the rest of Singapore or people in the west side want to move into stay, not because of more physical upgrade, but because Hong Kong North culture and the identity and the lifestyle is unique to us. The same way as when some of you go to Thailand, Chiang Mai, or even the Batam in Indonesia. There are not many high-rise buildings down there. Why you all like to go there? Because of the unity, very unique. Have you wondered why young family move out of Hong Kong North 300 plus? Maybe it is a sleeping town or estate. When we tell people we stay in East Coast, they have a pride. Or when I tell people I stay in Ang Mo Kio, their eyes is very big, which is very hard to explain. To me, that is the soul of home, which give life and make real difference. There are 4 areas I'm keen to develop for HOME identity. I believe very strong. This will make us as the first in Singapore that dare to undertake this path for a unique community project together. If we are able to achieve this, Hong Kong North shall be surely become a home for each one of us resident inside. This shall be my first part of my role, to put HOMES, home, on top of priority of a town council plan, which oversees the long-term goal of Hong Kong North to ensure sufficient resources are adequate for those objectives. What do HOMDS stand for? The first number, alphabet H, stand for happiness. What does it mean? We all have family or going to have. To me, a home without happiness is not a home. It's called a house. Every Hong Kong North resident that step into Hong Kong North is part of this home that is for everyone. It is important element where if we can achieve it together to attain happiness, you will take it to love to stay in this place. Yes, we want to achieve this as a town today, are measured by the number of building more than happiness index. What a place to you if you even want to define happiness or pride? When I was overseas, living in China, every town have its own unique event that symbolize the town or the village. Everyone is looking forward to this whenever the time comes of the year and excited and happy that looking forward for. Okay, it's not just a small event that you all have, a very small event, the Zoom or the whatever party that is out there. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about our festival. Hence, in the view of the ongoing COVID-19, we shall execute one festival in Hong Kong North for year 2020 and two signature festivals in 2021, followed by 4 events for 2022 from this onward. This event can also be generate income to find our authorities, raise our identity, and most importantly, our pride as Hong Kong North resident. Hong Kong home shall be a place where the events and the small one shall be a signature to reflect our hunger for effective event. So if we are successful, we can double up in the second year and we can double up in the third years. This model is going to be a bit similar mindset like the PAP, who believe that a good minister shall be paid for their talent. So we know that good event need to be managed by good event holder with proven record within means. And the best part is, I want Singaporean to come to Hong Kong North for our festivals, which is not only generating income, but strengthen the identity for us. Now, I understand that there are already Zumba and 6,000 smaller grassroots activities, but it is not a festival because those festivals involve a lot of planning, negotiations, and execution, both with territory board and private sectors. This cannot be done, but I am confident because I am a full-time elected MP. If I'm elected by you, I will ensure this can be taken off. It is not about how much money is going to make, but how much pride and happiness a Hong Kong North resident can feel when you know is coming to your way. In the view of the COVID-19, our first event shall be likely an online for the first year. There are about 28,000 of us, and we can execute an e-game tournament, marathon, or even online selling festival unique to Hong Kong North resident. Let me give you an example. Today, e-game industry worth $1.1 billion in 2019 and expect to continue to grow to US $2.2 billion by 2024. So how is this going to relate to Hong Kong North? It is part of the revenue, advertising revenue come in from this festival. It can channel to help other essential projects focus on the hardware. I'm talking about our hardware. Okay, hackathon, which is growing in prosperity, is another area which make and introduce our young adult to adopt to digitalization. This is how the China accelerate online progress, while Singapore now just started to do e-wallet. You know, China have been started their internet even now very, very advanced than Singapore. Singapore now we just starting e-wallet. How far they are now from us. Once the COVID-19 have passed, we will be looking at other festivals such as Pet Festival, Food Carnival, or even Singapore's biggest Pasar Malam that should be held in Hong Kong North. If you visit Kuala Lumpur, there is the longest and biggest Pasar Malam that is very unique, that bring people from other city of Kuala Lumpur come all the way to Kuala Lumpur just for the biggest Pasar Malam there. So yes, this is the path I want to use to focus on improving the happiness index, which make us unique. Being an eco clean town sound correct, but I prefer more practical approach in uplifting the ownership of being part of Hong Kong North. Imagine you tell your friends that you are staying in a place where it is the largest pet festival that held once a year, or this can be beyond the number that all the festival that you have is many things that happen in Hong Kong North is the first one in Singapore. When you feel proud to tell your friend this one. So now, let's go to my second part of the manifesto. O stand for openness. In a family, within a home, nothing helps to build trust better than being open, meaning transparency to each other, transparent to each other. I ask this question because many of the Hong Kong North residents, do you know how the town council work? Other than the lift and the SNCC charges, which collected every month, do you know how much revenue town council collected from their income? Do you know the Ministry of National Development Board encouraged town council to invest in Singapore bond? Do you knew the Ministry of National Development encouraged the town council to invest in Singapore bond, which is in their sinking fund? For those that not in account, that don't know what is sinking fund, the sinking fund meaning that there's fund that is sitting idle in the accounts, okay? So to be fair with the ruling parties, it's reflected inside the annual report, but how many times they actually step it out to share? To really build a home together, it does not mean only selected a few decisions, but involve everyone as much as possible. To build openness, there are 4 areas which I want to execute and maintain. First one, social media. My social media Facebook, Jijin Wong, shall be maintained and open because I find that it's very effective on my Facebook. That message will text to me, even at the night, 24 hours was open. So it can spread around that anything that you have, you don't have to go to my secretary or assistant in future. You just text me if anything emergency. I will read them. I will read your comment. I will come back to you. My Facebook will be open for you. You don't have to go to knock at the MP, meet PFP session every Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday. My Facebook is open. Just text me the message. Okay? I will come back to you. You don't have to wait for the meet PM session. We are just one Facebook away. So to share with you the second of the approach on the openness, how we can improve openness. Some of you, I believe, you go to meet your MP. Sometimes the MP may not be around, sometimes may be around. But I want to do something for you. You don't have to come and see me. I will come and see you. Second approach is the openness is quarterly zonal visit. As a full-time MP, I intend to visit home every quarters, different zone. For example, when I visit the West Plan, every 1 quarters and following by the West Coast. There are around 134 blocks in Hong Kong North and more to complete in future. We have more blocks coming in. I shall visit each area to see what I can help to settle in the others while meeting on the people session. The last 6 days of campaigning proved that even though I can spend time on the Facebook, the channel, but I still prefer to meet you in person, because if you write in Facebook, sometimes I might not understand what you're talking, or maybe the explanation is not very clear. So your MP will come and visit you every quarter, or you can put the message in the Facebook. And I also share with you, if I be elected, the kopitiam also will be my office. You can also see me at the kopitiam. Your PM will not siam, don't worry. Okay, so this is my second part of the openness to you. The third part I want to share with you is openness in the area of, that is the annual town hall meet on the town council matters. One of the reasons for the low participation due to the perception that it has been already decided and you don't have to get involved. I want you all to get involved in the town council matters because it's really matter you. So I want to be open. Every annual meetings on the town council, welcome on board to discuss with us. Okay, that is the town council. For the annual town council meeting, it's just like similar to like an annual report session with the shareholders. In this case, you are the resident, you are the shareholders. This is consistent and allow the participation of ideas. For those member report, for those number that reported in the latest SNCC charges, it compared to the AHTC led by the town council. We also try to involve everyone to be clear on the items such as home improvement program, SLRP, selected lifted replacement program as well. I don't think so many of you understand that lift lifespan is about 30 years for the lease house. This is addition to the annual brochure which will be sent to every one of you. I will be sending electronics, my brochure to you later on, and you can actually see what I mean. Because I'm sorry about that. I actually have a Chinese version of it, but I need to get someone to translate for me into the English version so that you can actually read and understand. But if you don't understand, it's fine. Later you look at my electrical version to get a better understanding of what I'm trying to explain to you. So my personal direction is also to discuss how the solar panel can help to bring a direct benefit to the Hong Kong North resident, as combined to take effect that this 6,000 panel, actually it can be cover about 4,000 car off the road per year. But the bigger question is, how does this going to generate additional fund to the resident? Finally, the last area of openness, which is the hardware fund. On this part, I need further consultation before full execution to ensure we conform with the regulation governed by the Ministry of Development. I want to explain more about the hardware fund. Hardware fund. Okay, this is the hard. Focus on special support for the Hong Kong North resident. Part of this money comes from the town improvement and the project fund, which stand as 2.39 million, can be utilized or jump started. Example, how the hardware fund can be Use include emergency medical loan to family that caught between applying support from the national agency and needy to cash out the cash immediately. This will reduce the complexity on the paperwork, because sometimes while you are so excited or so lost when you want to get some emergency money just to see a doctor and there's something happen, we want to help you with this. So we are trying to come up with something, but it's not a huge thing, it's not a very big thing. You cannot expect that we pay for you everything, but we want to know that when there's some emergency coming out, there is place you can look for help, for emergency help. So we are trying to work on that to help you using some of our this fund that we have. Okay, so because when you want to apply for insurance or some paperwork, it takes time. But sometimes I know of one cases, I just want to share with you what happened. I don't want to quote what race is that. One parent, they bring a child because the child is sick, bring to the KK hospital for immediate treatment. Okay, and they, before seeing the child, they want certain deposit, and it actually is a very poor family already. But on top of that, they have no money and they want a deposit before they get to see the child. So I think this is very insulting. So don't worry, if you have this problem, let us know. We will help you on that. The emergency registration fee. Okay. So this is the openness that we can share with you, that what we can help you on. So we are trying to set up some emergency fund, but we have to cap it at certain limit. It's not made a lot. If not, I think we have a problem also, because this is supposed to be shared and only emergency purpose. So this is we call the hardware fund, which means we really take care of you when in terms of emergency, like seeing a doctors, okay, or something very serious that happened. So this is the openness. So I will come to the third area of HOMES policy, which is M, which is stand for mission. Our Hongka Home main mission is to support those that staying within Hongka North in the area of business, education, skill, and career. It is very important, just like a family. Every resident in Hongka North needs support. We will not just look at the bread and butter issue, but also the future challenge as well. After all, the mission of support shall not be less than how family support can be. But of course, this must be done without killing our goose. I mean, you don't kill the goose to get the egg. I have met some home-based business owners during my walkabout, and they share with me that they are unaware of the digitalization incentives which they can apply. So we are going to help them on this. I will share with you later. So in terms of support to the business, other than the festival program I proposed under happiness, which I mentioned earlier, I shall look to work with the town council to set up a one-stop support center which look into all the government grant to help both local community business and home-based business access to the funding and support. This is very important that the grant are there, but the paperwork and the application form process is overwhelming to the small business owner, especially those home-based business where there's only one or two person, and sometimes they don't even know how to apply for it. So we're going to make a one-stop place for you to understand it and try to help you to apply for it. So you don't have to worry about how to apply. Just come to us. We will help you to process that. Okay. To be more specific, for the community business, we shall work with you to explore how to improve your reach, not just to Hongka North resident, but beyond the biggest town. This can be leveraged on the existing assets we can utilize to help you. All those is on top of the food and sundry voucher currently in place by the existing party to encourage more business activity, support local-based community business. We shall exploring option to expand free parking at selected time zone during low traffic period on the weekdays. From my understanding, Hong Kong North is going to be designated as an eco-town, and one of the area I'm looking at is how to channel the saving from the low consumption of electricity back to help both community and home-based business. Finally, we shall work with the statutory boards to encourage the respective future tender to Hong Kong North resident within Hong Kong North. This shall be similar to the same concept as we shall performing the balloting for the lot in the school where the 1 to 2 kilometers radius. I believe it is not the price that determine whether you get the lot, but the priority of your home is equipped is better service and more affordable pricing as the rental indirectly component to the pricing that you are paying for. The next one I'm talking about is educational support. For the support on education, other than the grocery voucher given out to those that do well in the school, we are going to work on the resident community to explore the RC, to explore helping the weaker student. For those weaker or those weaker in financial families. For example, I meet a young family with kids. Both parents are working, but they don't have the money to send the kids for tuition. I hope we can have the effectiveness program in the RC, just like when I was very young. I remember that the RC have the tuition program. So I hope we can do something about that. Maybe we collect a little token fee, but giving a tuition program to the children, the poor families that they cannot afford for. Or maybe I want to negotiate with the school for some of their physical premises that we can do some activities during the weekends to support the educational element. The next item, I'm going to talk about the skill support. For the skill support, for the support on skill, I understand the Skill Future initiative that is being implemented at the moment, which is providing about 10,000 jobs and supporting full-time training from 6 to 12 months. The question during my walkabout, where I go around, is not about how good or how bad the program is, but the lack of awareness. How many of you know the Skill Future is going to help you? How it's going to help you? This area shall be my top priority among the 4 support programs, and I intend to execute it immediately after I'm voted as your elected member of the parliament. As this is a coordination project, I shall have a permanent exhibition within community center, look to ease the bread and butter issue of Hong Kong North resident, then a nice home improvement or neighborhood renewal program, which is good to have more than a normal time. In times to come, and after the immediate concern are settled, I want to help to cultivate and build awareness on skill set that might develop and groom our own very famous Jack Ma from Hong Kong North. This is important, not just a national duty, but a community duty to support. As you know, I have 20 years of working experience in China. I want to bring something different, something that is good, that I think we can learn from, we can pick up from. So I hope in future, we can see our Hongkar North come up with Jack Ma, Singapore Jack Ma, okay? Career support. Finally, the support on career. When I finished my education, the business world that time, we are talking about career. During my time, we are talking about career. Today, we are talking about job. There's a difference between job and career. Job, you every day, you got to go and work for it, for the bread and butters. For career, is something that you enjoy, that you're looking forward for, that make the real difference. Something that you like to do. Okay? So I hope maybe now you are looking for a job, but career is our target. We cannot be going backward. During my time, I have the career. But during your time, 20 years later, the career became a job. You are looking for a job. That is very sad to me. So I hope to organize career fair. I intend to have designated HR specialist or manager to do career mapping for you. During my walkabout, I told you I met a lady in a coffee shop, 58 years old, look like 70 years old. I call her auntie. When she tell me she's 58, I nearly fall off the chair. Her hair was all white, all the wrinkles. She told me she got to go to Tampines to work. In Tampines, Hongkar North to Tampines. About 1.5 hours there and come back. You can imagine how tired. Just to go there, Pan Kopi, earning how much? $1,200. And now she's jobless. And her kids tell her, sorry, mommy, next month I'm not going to support you because I'm going to school. I'm going to study my part-time degree. I hear it, I was very, very sad. So I'm going to organize the career mapping for the resident of Hongkar. We're trying to help you. I'm trying to talk to the small SME within Hongkar to help you all to do the career mapping. I don't want my resident, so sad, to go outside Hongkar to look for a job. I hope the Hongkar company, small SMC, or the project that we have, the job, give the priority to Hongkar people. This is my aim for it. I don't want you to go that far. I want to have a career mapping for you, something that you're looking forward for. Okay, and I also will try to align with our statutory board, see whether any opportunity that can be working up for our resident in Hongkar, any opportunity for you as well. Of course, not only working within Hongkar, but any opportunity that you can go that is better for you, even outside the Hongkar home. I hope the mission to support is clear to the resident of Hongkar North. And I'm very serious on this, especially during this economic uncertainty. Yes, we need a captain on the ship to stir the ship, okay? As an elected MP, to ensure no one get left behind and thrown out. In this storm, there must be creative, which is why and how the Chinese platform in China, in Suzhou, they really grow so fast. We need to learn, we need to pick up as well. I want the people in Hongkar, when you can retire, you really can retire happily. Not have to worry of bread and butter. I'm very sad. I'm trying to work towards the direction. Like those Chinese, they are so happy. After the retirement, they go anywhere. This is my ultimate objective. We are trying to make you proud of Hongkar. You are staying in Hongkar, and also to create job for you within Hongkar. So now I shall explain the final component of HOMES program, the letter E, which stands for elderly. And we know that warmth in the family is never complete without it. 家有一宝，家有一老，如有一宝。The compassionate toward our Merdeka and pioneer generation must always be there. The current program in the elder support are not able to resolve the concern today. They are the people that have directly or indirectly delivered us today in Singapore. The elderly, they are the one that built us the platform for today that Singapore enjoy for the last 30 to 40 years. Let's not forget our elderlies. To begin with Hong Kong North, we shall have a priority lane for the elderlies. Yes, a priority lane. Just like you go to the bank, the rich people, those that got more money, we call corporate accounts. You can go, you can no need to queue. Go to the priority lane. I want to make this different. Hong Kong North shall have the priority lane for the elderlies. They don't have to queue. They don't have to queue like you. They can go to the green lane. And then we will help them to resolve those administrative work that the poor children at home, sometimes they are very tired already. The papa, mama, they are old, and sometimes they are not educated in English. They do not know how to fill in the forms or certain things they have question with. Just come to us. We will help you with that. You have the priority lane. Just go in, look for us. We will help you on the form, how to fill in. We want to resolve that for you. So you don't have to be asking your kids to, they are very tired on their work already. We will take that care for you. And that, why I want to do that? Because of one experience. The other day, I shared in my Facebook Live. 10:30, I received a Facebook message. A 64 years old resident in Hong Kong North trying to text me. He was very worried about the lease house that he buy and the deduction from the CPF. And he was directed to call the CPF and also the HDB. And were ping-ponging here and there. And he was very stressed at middle of the night. There's nobody that he can go to. Can you imagine the old folks? They are so poor thing. They are so worried about how the CPF fund is going to deduct from them. And they got nowhere to turn to. And every time when they call, it's only an answering machine. Because they got no one to communicate. And he come to me. I try to reply whatever I know, my best knowledge for you. Okay? So we don't want to upset the elderly. They are really the one that helps Singapore today. So we must take care of them. This is why I want to set up the green lane for them in Hong Kong North. I want to promote our family culture value and respect them. So the next area, which I'm very pleased to try to implement this, is compassionate health check. Like many of you, I have elderly father at home who doesn't believe to go to hospital or to check up unless there's some issue happen. Okay, why is this so? Because they are worried that if they go check up, they will spend money, they will find out they have problems. And it's very difficult to send the old folks to the hospital to do checkup. The last trip, I insist my father, if you don't check up, I'll fly back. And I asked my sister to bring my father to the hospital to check up. If not, I will fly back straight away. It's so difficult because they are so stubborn, because they are worried. Once they check up, they got more problem because they don't want to spend money. I would like to encourage and implement something that we have a free checkup for them every half a year. I'm trying to organize some community programs to check up for them, to diagnose any sickness in, let's say, general one, to find out, just to Don't let them feel that if sickness happen, what is going to be. I just want to focus on to give them a free checkup. But of course, I will try to negotiate with certain those charity parties involved, you know, to pay for the programs. Okay, I want to do something that is really what they need, other than the Zumba singing or gardening program that intended to. But sometimes I think we better ask them what they want. For example, one of the activities that can encourage, I mean, they might like is mahjong. Maybe we can bring the mahjong back for them, that they will not have the 老人痴呆. So by playing the mahjong, so ask what they want, not to superimpose. Because if you ask the old folk Zumba, they may not want. Gardening, they may not want. So what do they want? Ask them. That's why I spend a lot of time listening to people. So I want to hear their voice, what they want. So mahjong maybe can bring back to help them when they can play the mahjong. So I want to take care of the elderly. Just like, I give another example. The home improvement program, the Indian lady I have speak to, and tomorrow I'm going to see her again, of the task that is given during the home improvement program. Either you choose A or choose B tile. There is no other selection. And the difference between A and B is only the color. And she had been telling the officer, the tile is very smooth, it will be dangerous. And they say, sorry, either you take it or you leave it. So she had no choice. She selected. And after 2 years, she really fell in the toilet and her hand got injured. And when she asked for help, they say you refer to HDB, you refer to this and that. And until today, she also still referring to here and there. I hope tomorrow somebody will go to her to address her problem, because the tile is actually very slippery. And you can go to her house and take a look. So that's why I'm trying to say is that give the elderly a choice, what they want. Be it they like dancing or singing that can help, or play mahjong that can help on the mental stimulations, which I want to explore more on the program that they want to join us in, and consulting them what they want, okay, before executing it. Okay, as a final one, final to tap on the compassion towards our elder, there will be an appreciation token fund from Hong Kong North Town Council, which I want to propose and or implement. This is a tokens work with a simple qualifying criteria. When you just need to be a resident of Hong Kong North and above 65 years old, every year we shall give you up to $200 as a token of appreciation, which you can spend within Hong Kong North. Okay, when the fund, I mean, when we have a surplus of the fund that we manage, if we have surplus fund, we will give it to you. I have studied the CCK, Choa Chu Kang Town Council annual report, and notice that we have a budget surplus fund achieved every year with the lowest amount of work in 2014 and 2015 annual report, which amount close to 500,000, and the highest, which is last year, around 4.66 million. The current town council book for CCK, which is at about dollars 149 million, and around 2.39 million in the town council improvement and project fund. This is definitely visible to jumpstart without clipping to the existing budget of the town council if I'm voting in as your MP, because they have already have the fund there, but we are not spending it. As I already mentioned, why you keep so much money? Are we overcharged? So we should use it right. I'm not asking for a lot, but I think there's a word, 取之于民，用之于民. So PSP also have said something. Don't treat us like employees. We are workers to the government. The government have earned too much money, so that is not the way. We should not overcharge our residents. So we need to review it and how we should spend the money. So the conclusion of me, I have shared with you my home, 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 home for Hongkang. That is my 5-year plan. It's a home. Hongkang North is a home, not a town. Pardon me if I'm too direct with it. I have been listening and listening and listening on the ground. I want to help you around and turn around the business, just like I turn around China businesses. I want to turn from the town to the home. When I turn around a lost business in China, I also really go to the root of the problem, to work hand in hand with my employee in China. So now I also want to work hand in hand with my resident in Hongkang North to achieve our transformation from town to home. I seek you to stand by my side. Vote me to the parliament so we can achieve this objective of the transformation from Hongkang North town to Hongkang North home. And I really wish we can be something different, that we are not only one SMC seat of the 93 seats in the parliament. We are only one of the 93. But I hope we can be the one out of the 93 that do something that is very different, that the 93 can copy us from. I seek you all to work with me to make a difference, to make our objective come true, to make Hongkang North a home that you are very proud with, to be with. Next time you tell people I'm in Hongkang North, their eyes will pop up very big. Wow, Hongkang North. Not that I have to Google around to find out where is Hongkang North. So I hope you can join me with my 5-year mission and work hand in hand with me to achieve that with our home objective. I want you to be proud with after the 5 years. And there's something that you can look forward for when I come on board. So vote me in to the parliament, vote me in to work hand in hand with you. Stay with me. If you like me, forward it to your friend, share with the Hongkang North resident on my proposal of home that I can help you with. I want you to share this message across, because if you vote less than the percentage, you can never get it done. You know what I mean. If you really want to be the shining star in future of Singapore, just like 55 years ago Singapore, where we are a small fishing village, and now we are international, world well-known country, the small little red dot. My ambition is to make Hongkang North shine and really, really shine in Singapore. I want to make you well known, to be very proud as a resident of Hongkang North. So work hand in hand with me, share what I told you just now to the Hongkang North resident, vote me in, because you know we need to have the 55% vote. If you like the idea, vote me in. If you like your MP to be with you 24 hours on a Facebook that you can share, if you like the priority lane that the elderly can go to, no need to queue. If you like the paperwork that you have problem with, your papa, mommy help you to fill, say, go to the town council, go and look for Jijin team, they help you to fill in. Settle your hassle. You concentrate on your currently job, but we will try to find you something that your career. My aim, I hope, really, a few Jack Ma can be found in Hongkang North. I have noted many of you at home when I do the house visit on the computer. So I hope to do something that is very, very different. And my objective is to let people outside Hongkang North want to shift into Hongkang North to join us. So I need your support, strong support, to share this message across to all your neighbors in Hong Kong. Share your light. Vote me in. 55% and above. Vote me in to achieve the objective. I'm sorry that my English may not be perfect. You know that. Actually, my idea is from Chinese and asking people to translate to English, but I want to try to my best to explain to you. Pardon me if I don't explain it very clearly, but I'm going to share with you, I think, a better idea. Later on, I will have a flyer for you, and you can look at the flyers. If you do not understand that my meaning, you know where am I tomorrow. Come to me, I will explain to you in person. Of course, I can speak very fluent in English, or not English, okay, like in English, Chinese, Teochew, Hokkien, Cantonese, no problem. Come to me and you speak to me. And I welcome those new residents. 中国来的同志们、哥们、姐妹们，过来跟我一起谈。OK， 我希望你们不要害怕，不用怕 vote 我，不用怕投我一票。虽然 PAP 或我们现在的政府给了你们新加坡公民，现在你已经是新加坡公民了，跟我们是一条船上的，你更要支持我，因为我现在讲的是大家的利益，我们共同的利益。我希望你们支持我，我希望把丰嘉北建成一个家，你们都想去的家园，真的是一个家，不是一个house very cold house， 就是很冷冰冰的一个房子。我希望这个家有活力，大家都可以过来的，都想搬进来的。除了我刚才讲的那个 home 的意义 HOMES， 我们要做的里面的细节的东西将会在我的宣传页里面，一会儿你们可以看得到。因为我跟他们表达的时候是用英语，可是我跟你们表达，我用点中文，你们会听得懂，因为我的中文相当的标准，毕竟在中国待了20年，所以我希望你们也能听到我讲的话。我希望带给大家的是一个真的很温馨、很温馨的家，老人可以有依靠的一个家，向往的家。真的不要太过担心，我会帮助你们的。我们是一家人。We are one family. I am the daughters of Singapore. 我是新加坡的女儿，我回来了，跟你们大家在一起。所以你们要投我一票，把我送进国会，让我帮助你们大家完成这个心愿。Vote for me, share it, the light to your neighbors. Vote me into the parliament. We achieve the dream together. Build a satellite of Singapore, Hong Kong North that can shine. Vote me into the parliament on the day, election day. We work together. I am your favorite MP that work very, very hard for you. I don't want to go to the building, how many building you can have, whatever you can have. It's already in the paper. You will not run away. Don't worry. OK， 那些该建的东西都已经在了，我们国家规划都已经有了，都是你们的，跑不掉。今天谁来当家都会有的，因为这个是我们国家的规划，所以不是一个政绩。我想提醒大家，这个不是一个政绩，请支持我，我用心。Please vote for me. I'm using my heart. Trust me. Vote for me. Do the parliament. 把我选进去。谢谢大家，感謝大家，感謝大家。